Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. I had to switch it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Once we get back to the studio audience, it'll go back to business as usual. But yes, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. For all my new listeners, new episodes drop usually on Thursdays. I talk about my life, my interests, and the ways I'm trying to grow. So come on back through, you feel me? And man, listen, shout out to the real ones. And here's why. I love everybody who listens. I love everyone who, when you see me promote my show, you listen. But listen, shout out to those of y'all that I didn't even promote my episode last week. Will not be promoting this one or the next one. We'll get into that in a little bit. And y'all still listen. So that's why I say the real ones. Y'all are the ones that whatever platform you subscribe on, you saw that I was on time too. That's what's crazy is my episode was on time. YouTube even, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, when I'm, you know what I'm saying, on point, the YouTube episode actually releases at 9 p.m. the night before. So typically, as long as I'm on track, which 95% of the time I'm on track, but as long as I'm on track, the episode will drop at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time on Thursdays. And then, so with that, it'll drop for those of you who watch on YouTube, it'll drop 9 p.m. So, I was on time with no podcast promo last week. So shout out to those of y'all who really, really listen for real, even if I don't promote it. So yeah, speaking of, my church is doing a 21-day fast. A lot of churches will do corporate fasts and whatever. And so I'm going to give you a 2-sentence. No, I'm going to give you more than that. I'm going to give you, if you don't know what fasting is, now do your research if you want to get all the biblical and theological, whatever. I'm not getting into all that. But in short, it is stopping something, and in place of that thing, you are supposed to be to grow closer to the Lord. So some people will fast food completely, they won't eat anything. Some people will do partial fast where they'll miss a few meals, or they won't eat this or they won't eat that or whatever. I, on the other hand, because you really need to be led by the Lord on exactly what you're going to fast, because it's supposed to be He's drawing you into this fast. I am actually fasting social media, and it's really interesting because there have been times when I've taken breaks from social media and I would still schedule my podcast promo to where I'm technically not on social media as far as getting on the apps and scrolling and all that, but I would go to the scheduling thing and schedule podcast promo. But as I was praying and, asking the Lord how I should do this and whatever, I really felt like He said, nope, no presence on social media at all. So for those of y'all who faithfully watch my stories on Instagram, and I typically will post either whatever encouraging things I see on the timeline or whatever they call it on Instagram, whatever I see, I will share. That's why I ain't been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't be back for a while. And what's crazy is and it has nothing to do with social media. It has to do with, obviously I'm, doing this to grow closer to the Lord, but I'm also praying for breakthrough in different areas of my life. And it's so crazy because, man, at the time of this recording, shout out to 12 Kyle, but because I'm actually recording this early, I'm really trying to get, as different things are shifting in my life, we'll get into that another episode. I'm trying to get back to like recording. I'm not gonna, man, I remember when I used to have like months in advance of content when I first started. I'm at least, you know what I'm saying, trying to record ahead of time for the week of, if nothing else. And so like at the time of this recording, I don't know, 6 days into this fast, I think. And man, it has been, golly, it has been a really, really rough week emotionally, because it's like there's a specific area of my life that I'm praying for breakthrough in. And so, with that, what I'm seeing is all of the things in my heart, all of the wounds, all of the insecurities, all of whatever that are actually a hindrance for me to be able to move forward in this particular area of my life. And so, when I tell you, plus, I've had like was stuck in the house because the weather, which y'all heard about that, but like this is technically that same week, right? At the time it's recording anyway. And then like car ain't been work, just all this stuff. And so I've just been in the house a lot more because I'm actually without a working vehicle right now. Listen, I have cried so much this week. There have been days that I've cried in the morning and cried in the afternoon and cried myself to sleep. Like when I tell you God is really doing some work in my heart right now, and this is what I want, you know what I'm saying? Like I am someone, I talk about the importance of being mentally, emotionally, spiritually healthy because I see the value of it in my life. You know what I mean? Like I have been going to bed earlier so that I could get up earlier, so that, because I'm realizing if I don't start, like if I don't get up at least, and I think that I said this last week, or I don't know, but I've said it before. If I don't get up literally at least 2 hours before I need to leave the house, but sometimes that's not enough. I need to be getting up like 3 hours before I need to leave the house. A half an hour of that time is literally just waking up and accepting the fact that I need to be up, and then it's like coffee, prayer, time in my Bible, all that good stuff. But man, I talk a lot about being emotionally healthy and all of that, and because I'm really seeing the way that like the wounds that I'm really focusing on right now and the healing that I'm really focusing on right now, I'm really seeing how that has been, and even in real time is, a hindrance in different relationships that I have. Like I'm someone who has always been pretty self-aware, and those of y'all that have listened for a while, you should probably be able to tell that, especially those of y'all that know me in real life. Like I'm just a very reflective person. Everything is super deep to me. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm just this, oh, I'm so deep. It's just I don't know. I think deeply about a lot of stuff. I've kind of always been that way, but I will definitely say the last 4 years, like literally once the pandemic hit and I just started having more time, like working from home. So it just gave me more time to whatever. And then I talked on here about this monk journal. So now I'm more intentionally every day sitting down at the end of my day because there's this gratitude section. And so I'm really sitting down. And then on Sundays, I'll reflect back on the previous week. And it's already kind of a day of reflection anyway, because I go to church and all that stuff. And so, y'all, I am really seeing like when I just have certain kinds of interactions, and I'm gonna be kind of vague right now, but when I have certain interactions, I can feel when there's fear or insecurity, like hindering me from maybe responding or saying or doing like what I actually want to do. And what I've noticed is when that happens, I mean, I try to navigate it the best I can, like in real time. And typically it's just sometimes fear, insecurity wins, actually, a lot of times. And then when I go home and I think about it, that's when I like go to the Lord. And for me, a lot of times breakthrough for certain types of issues is a lot of crying, because it's like sometimes I'm mad that it's even a thing. Sometimes when I'm mad when I think about what the root of that particular pain is. But what's interesting is on the other side of that, and sometimes it's just cry for a little bit, and sometimes it's cry for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends on what is going on. But what's super dope is that, like, there's always freedom. Even if I have to come back and chip away at some more of whatever, there's always freedom on the other side of acknowledging and like addressing that pain, and like really trying to give it to the Lord. You know what I mean? And so it's been a interesting season. I'm finding myself even just very restless. I'm finding myself very impatient and frustrated about things not happening as quickly as I feel like they should happen. And so then what's interesting about that is, like, when you're someone who really tries to, and I don't know if this is true even when you're not trying to, but I am someone who is trying to, like, live my life, how I feel like the Lord is leading me, and surrender to his will, which also means surrendering to his timing. He always has timing for everything. And I get the most frustrated, and I don't know if I'm ever going to quote unquote arrive at a better place with this, but I get the most frustrated when when I feel like something needs to be happening now and it's not. And it's always been true. There has never been a time that this has been untrue, that when I finally get whatever it is that I'm waiting for, it is always true that I'm like, yep, this was perfect timing. Like, every single time. However, in the midst of the waiting and in the midst of whatever's going on in the waiting, which it's typically preparation so that I steward well whatever it is I'm waiting for, right? But it's always in the waiting that I get super frustrated. And there's just four particular areas of my life that there's just this pause, or things are going extremely slow. And it has been extremely frustrating. And it has been a rough week. And I know it has been a rough week because I have been going to bed earlier than I normally do because I'm just tired. Listen, I'm usually maybe cry in the morning in my prayer time, maybe cry at night when I'm trying to go to sleep, but crying in the middle of the day, like like earlier today, literally came home, was making me some food. Food is in the microwave. Came in my room, sat on my bed, cried, and then went back to it. Like, that is how things have been this week. It has been rough, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, on the other side of those tears, I know that I am freer than I was before. Like, I know that I will continue to be freer the more that I acknowledge and process my pain, and not try to act like it's not there. Like, I'm actually really grateful, even though sometimes it's a little frustrating, but I'm actually really grateful that I am a pretty like, I don't know, kind of like, what am I trying to say? I am a pretty reflective person, and I'm grateful for that. I'm glad that I'm a pretty self-aware person. I'm glad that I am someone who kind of like, I don't know, just is aware of when I feel off or whatever, because it makes it just easier to want to tap in and like try to heal. Is that always easy? No, because I don't even like crying at all. Like, I don't. I really, really don't. I really hate crying, actually. And so it's like, I hate crying, and I've cried a lot this week. It just felt like a very heavy week. And I don't know if the entire 21 days of fasting is going to be this way. There's not 21 more days, but I don't know if the rest of it is going to be like this whole time. And if so, it is what it is. And even if it goes longer, it is what it is, because seasons of testing, although we don't know when they're going to end, seasons of healing, seasons of whatever, there's always like an expiration date. It's always for a set time. It's always for a set season. It's not forever. And that's what I'm reminding myself, is that it's not always going to be like this. But yeah, I just been pressing in and trying to grow and just trying to be whole and healthy, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's actually interesting not being on social media. I would be on it a lot because I would watch a lot of like funny videos. So I would really more so like waste a lot of time on there. I'm not going to say I really use it to communicate, maybe like make statuses or tweets or whatever here and there. I guess it's called posts now on Twitter. But anybody that I really want to talk to, excuse me, I could text, call, whatever. So it's not like I'm really missing out necessarily on the people that I talk to. But it's just different. It's been interesting. I don't know what's going on with everybody else that I don't see. Granted, I see a ton of people, so it's not like I'm just isolated, but I don't know what's going on with people because I am, not on social media. So again, shout out to the real ones who really, really listen for real, whether I promote or not, because I'm not going to be promoting any episodes until I come back from my social media fast. And then what's crazy, as I've been thinking about it, I think I may only like just promote once when it drops, and then that's it. Because the fact that there are those of y'all that still listen even when I don't promote, it's like this show has never been about me trying to like have this be a podcaster or have this like massive audience. This show has always been a therapeutic creative outlet for me. It's the legacy that I'm leaving behind for my kids and my grandbaby. And so it's like, that's the cool thing is I'm like, but as you notice, I do like the bare minimum with promotion with this show. While I don't have any visuals, I don't even do promo clips, and I might not go back to that because it's just work. You know what I mean? Like, I might really just only promote when the episode drops and, go on, because not promoting it and still having y'all listen just shows me that the people who want this are gonna, they're gonna find it. And then if you don't, that's okay. I'm gonna record regardless because it's for me, and whoever could get some from it, that's a bonus. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is really so that when I'm gone, my kids will have however many years of content that they can hear my voice, that they can see me, that they can even learn things about me that like it'll mean more later to them than it does now because I'm here. So they can talk to me, they can ask me my perspective, they can, whatever. Whereas when I'm gone, they won't have that. And so that's really what this is for. You know what I mean? So, as always, make sure y'all are taking care of yourself mentally. Make sure you are taking care of yourself emotionally. Make sure you are taking care of yourself spiritually and physically. It's crazy because I missed like a few days going to the gym, and I went yesterday. And there are 2 exercises that I really, really hate. I hate burpees and I hate when we have to run. And yesterday's workout was burpee pull-ups and shuttle running. So the two things that I hate doing the most, I had to do. But what I'm really proud of myself is that I was able to pace myself and just keep moving. So there wasn't a point where I stopped and just stopped. I just kept, and that's what they said from jump, because it's 15-minute AMRAP, so that's as many reps as possible. And so they said, don't send it in the beginning and then have to start doing longer breaks later because you use too much energy up front. And so when they said that, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to pace myself. So I'm proud of myself, especially on a workout that I can't stand doing those workouts. But the more I keep going, the stronger that I'm going to get. And that's why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, take care of yourself physically. And as you take care of all those areas, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically, that's when that's what's going to make it easier for you to be healthy in your relationships. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of the people around you? Like, one of the big reasons that I am really processing the issues of my heart right now, as they're just coming up a lot, is because I don't want to mistreat anyone that God has in my life. Like, I want to steward well the relationships that are in my life. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for Tam